My name is Katie Pardee, and today we're going to be talking about sports coverage in the media. Have you ever noticed that the media tends to cover very controversial topics? How about that the way they talk about women is very different than the way they talk about men? These are just some of the topics that we are going to be covering today regarding sports in the media. If you follow the NFL or football, then you've probably heard of Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick refused to stand for the national anthem, saying, "I'm not going to stand up and show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color. To me, this is bigger than football, and it would be selfish on my part to look the other way. There are bodies in the streets and people getting paid leave and getting away with murder." That quote was directly from the NFL.com. Now, Kaepernick isn't the only athlete that has stood up for civil rights. In fact, there's a list of them. He joins Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and several WNBA players. However, Kaepernick is one of the only ones that did something so controversial that he's been in the media since. Now, because of this, many teams didn't want to sign him because they didn't want that type of negative media on their team. Because the media took this story and ran with it, many people who wouldn't have originally known that Kaepernick didn't stand for the anthem now did, and they were all expressing their opinions, and most of them were negative. Because of this, Kaepernick wasn't able to get signed. He delivered a salvo on October 15th, according to NY News Daily, that would officially end his career. Now, he's still going to be a civil rights activist, however, he just no longer will be playing football. Now, let's rewind a second to what I just said. Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and several WNBA players. Now, why weren't these players named? It kind of seems as though they're less important, right? That's what I thought. However, unfortunately, this isn't the only time that the media talks about women like this. According to thinkprogress.org, Dr. Cynthia Frisbee did a study on microaggressions during the 2016 Rio Olympics. These microaggressions increased by 40% from the 2012 Olympics. Now, these microaggressions are women being sexualized and referred to by how they look instead of what they can do, as well as being referred to by, oh, she's his wife and he's done this, instead of what she's done. It's not just that, but it also gets racial too, because female athletes of color tend to be referred to as pummeling their opponents or overpowering their opponents instead of just beating them by their sheer talent. However, this isn't the only way that the media oppresses women. Also on ESPN, instead of actually showing the live footage of female athletes playing their sport, they put it on the ticker at the bottom of the screen so that they can still play the male athlete's sport. To me as a woman, this isn't fair and it isn't right. And in 2017, it's not something that should still be happening. Especially since in 1989, there was more footage of women's sports than there is now. These are just some of the ways that the media affects sports and athletes, and there are many, many, many more ways that they affect sports and athletes. And it's not beneficial. It can be, but most of the time it's not. It can end people's career. It can make people feel like they're less important. And it's something that I believe needs to be changed. Thanks for watching.